Good morning, students. Welcome back to this software engineering class again. We are discussing about software development process models. All the models are based on the basic four activities like requirement analysis activity, then designing activity, then coding activity and testing activity. Based on these preliminary fundamental activities, there are at least four models that we have proposed, namely waterfall model, prototype model, iterative model, and time boxing model. This waterfall model and the prototype model we have discussed in the last class. Now we are going to discuss about iterative development model. What does this iterative development model do is, it negates, it removes some of the drawbacks with waterfall model and prototype model. Waterfall model and prototype model. Okay, if you want me to explain what is this iterative model, I want you to go. Yeah. This picture will explain you to some extent what is this iterative model is. Okay. The basic idea in this model is that the software should be developed in increments. Okay. This is one increment. From here, maybe go to this increment. From here, you go to increment. At the end of this increment, we would have the required software with us. Okay. So the basic idea in this development is that the software should be developed in increments. Each increment adding some functional capability to the system until the full system is implemented. Okay. In this increment, in this iteration, some functionalities, some operations of the final system are included here, and this will include the very basic and essential items expected of the final system. Okay, then on completion of this particular iteration, we will move to the next iteration by adding some more functionality. Then on completion, so this second iteration would be a better version over this previous iteration. Okay, then on completion of this one, we will add some more functionalities, some more operations expected of the final system, and go to the next iteration. So like this, one by one, more and more functionalities are added and they are all tested. Then once the testing is okay up to that particular iteration, then some more functionalities are added and proceeded further. So this will keep on going until the final system is delivered, designed. Okay. What is the intermediate activities that are going on in these things? That means from the very first iteration, which has some basic requirements of the final system, then we prepare a project control list. Okay, we prepare a project control list. What does this project control list do? The project control list will have all the functionalities expected of the final system. Okay, in other words, what are all the operations that the software should do is it is available in the project control list. Okay, so what happens is, on completion of this particular first iteration, then some functionalities from the project control list is taken out and included into the currently developed iteration. So that becomes the second iteration. So supposing the project control list is having some n number of activities, n number of functionalities, or n number of operations, then maybe some two functionalities from the project control list is taken out and added for the second iteration. So now the second iteration will have two more functionalities than the previous iteration. Then it is designed and tested. Now, on completion of this particular iteration, then now the project control list is having n minus 2 functionalities, then maybe another two functionalities are removed from the project control list and added for the third iteration. So now this third iteration is a better version over the previous iteration, some improvement over the previous iterations. Like this, some functionalities are removed from the project control list and added for the next iteration. Like this, gradual improvement is happening with every iteration. Gradual improvement happens with every iteration, and this improvement will keep on going. How long it will go on? Until our project control list becomes empty. It becomes empty. All the functionalities that are expected of the final system are available in the project control list. From that, we remove functionalities one by one, and we add that into the iterations. So this will keep on going until the project control list becomes empty. When the project control list becomes empty, you are assured that you are almost nearing the final stage of development of that software. Final stage of development of the software. That is the idea behind this one. Now, what is the usage of this project control list? So the project control list will give you some estimation of where we are, at what stage of development the development is going, then how long the development is remaining, how much of development is remaining. So this project control list gives you some idea about the particular stage, and you should bear it in mind that every iteration is tested before the next iteration is started. In other words, every iteration is tested for its correctness, tested for its satisfaction. Before another functionality is added to it to start the next iteration. So this is the idea behind this iterative development model. So what are the benefits as it is given here? It is easy to get a feedback of improvement. Okay, what is the feedback of improvement? Everything is possible. Some of the drawback is the architecture design may not be optimal, because we are keeping on improving more functionalities, more operations. Then correspondingly, the design has to be changed, revised. Okay, we have to rework on the previous design. So it is time consuming. Okay, and also since the time is exceeding and the cost may become more when we are adding more and more functionalities like this. Okay, this is just like this. You are constructing a house. Before construction of the house, you know what are all the facilities that are expected of that house. If you have that, well and good, then you can estimate totally. Whereas you start one room, then go for another room, then another room construction, another one by one. If you are going means, then it will become more time consuming and more labor intensive, and it will cost you more. Same is the case here also. So this iterative model cannot be used for very big project and a lengthy project, because already it is time consuming, and if you go for this, it may even increase the time limit to complete that work. So that is the idea behind this iterative model. Okay. Now we go for the next software development model, development process model. This is time boxing model. This is okay. It is a very interesting model. Uh, I would say it is an improvement over the previous iterative model. Improvement over previous iterative model. Okay. So here comes some kind of parallelism is employed. Okay. So to speed up the development, some parallelism between the different iterations are employed. Okay. That is in the time in the iteration model, once the one iteration is over, then we start the next iteration. So in the time boxing model, even before a particular iteration is over, the next iteration is started with whatever the information is available from the previous iteration. That is the idea. So parallelism exists between the different iterations. Okay. A new iteration commences before the system is produced by the current iteration. Okay, that is the idea. Okay. So the development of a new iteration happens in parallel with the development of the current iteration. Okay, so that's what I have been telling you. Two iterations are concurrently executed. Okay, two or more iterations are concurrently executed. Okay. So by when like this, when you do this several iterations concurrently, naturally it will reduce the development time. Okay. So for example, if the first iteration takes T time means, and if the first iteration is made up of 3 activities means, then average time for each activity is 3 T/3 because there are 3 activities are there. Okay, then even before that particular iteration is completed in T time, the next iteration can be started by T/3 time, and the next iteration can be started in another T/3 time. Like this, when you compute the total timing, it will reduce the total time of development. Okay, now in this model, the basic unit of development is a time box. Okay. Now you look at this picture here. Okay. So this is a time box. This is a time box. Okay. Now this time box is having 3 phases, 3 activities, namely as an example, I have taken some requirement activity, build activity, and deployment activity. Okay, now let us take this is time box 1, and this takes total of T times. What is that? T time. Let us take T times. Now, what happens is before this time box 1, so once this requirement activity of the time box 1 is completed, then the requirement activity for the next time box starts. Okay. Now what happens in this time box 1 is the requirement activity produces an output, maybe an SRS document, software requirement specification document, and that is an output and becomes an input for the build activity, designing activity. Based on the software requirement specification document, some designing activity happens. Okay. Now, once this build team designed the software and coded the software, then the coded final software is given for installation, deployment team. Okay, so this deployment team will do various pre-installation work, and then it will start the installation. So the output of this activity is given to this as an input to this activity. The output of this activity is given as an input to this activity, like this. Let us take totally the time duration is for this time box is T. So when you go for this time box model, you should select the activities very carefully, whether you should ensure that whether the activities can be completed within the time limit T. So for each time box, the same time is the given. Duration of completion is T. So that is for this time box one, if T is the time to complete its activity, then same T is the time for the next time box. Same T is the time for the next time box. Same T is the time limit for the next time box. Okay, that should be there. And also you should bear it very clearly in mind that which team is performing this requirement activity, the same team is performing the requirement activity of the activity of the second time box. The same team is performing the requirement activity of the third time box, like this. So the same team is performing requirement activities in all the time boxes. Like the same team will do the build activity in all the time boxes. Same team will do the what is the team doing the deployment in the time box? The same team will do it in the time box 2, time box 3, and the time box 4, like this. Okay, that is in contrast with our iterative model. In the iterative model, there is no guarantee that the same team is performing all the functionalities. Okay, here each functionality is done by a particular person, particular team only. Now, how does this time boxing model saves your time? Let us see. Let us take this time boxing is taking T time. T time. Then the how many activities are here? 3 activities are here. So the average time is T by 3 for the requirement, T by 3 for the build, T by 3 for the deployment. Okay. Then on completion of this T by 3 time of the time box 1, then the requirement for the time box 2 is starting. Requirement for the time box 2 is starting. Okay, so during this time of this T by 3, T by 3, so T by 3 plus 2 by, during this time, we have started this one. On completion of this T by 3 of the first time box, we have started the second time box, second iteration. Rather, I can say on completion of this, before even completing this iteration, the requirement activity of the next iteration is started. Before even completion of the completion of this iteration, the requirement activities of the third time box is started. Now, this is time limit is T. Then what is the time limit? What is the time for both these one, both the time boxes? In other words, both the iterations. This is T. Then this is only the extra time needed for completing these two activities. What is the time for this one? It is T by 3. So the time to complete these two iterations, these two time boxes are T plus T by 3. T plus T by 3. Now, what is the time to complete these 3 activities? That is TB1, TB2, TB3. In other words, 3 iterations. Okay. Now, time for these 2 activities is T plus T by 3. Then one. So up to this, everything can be completed in T plus T by 3. Then only this deployment will take another T by 3. So that means time to complete these 3 activities is that T plus T by 3 plus T by 3. Okay. Now, what is the time to complete all the 4 iterations, all the 4 time boxes? That is T plus T by 3 for this activity plus T by 3 for this activity, then plus T by 3 for this activity. So the time to complete all these iterations is T plus T by 3 plus T by 3 plus T by 3, which reduces much of your total time of duration. Supposing we have employed the iterative development in this for this particular work. That means this will require T. Then on completion of this one only, the iteration can be started. This also will require T. Then on completion of this one only, this could have been started. So it is T. On completion of this one only, this could have been started. It is T. So T plus T plus T plus T, that is 4T, 4T, which is much higher than our computed value of T plus T by 3 plus T by 3 plus T by 3. So that is the advantage of this time boxing model. That is advantage of this time boxing model. So you should bear it in very clearly mind that once the team develop this requirement activity, the same team will not go for building. Will go to the requirements of the next. There is a separate team for building activity, separate team for deployment activity. So only one drawback we can say is that for the time box one, the build and deployment teams will be idle when the requirement activity is going on. Once it is over only, then the build becomes active. Okay. Once it is over, then the concurrently the activities will go on. Okay. So by and large, this time boxing model is much improvement over the other models. Much improvement over the other models. But care should be taken that only the correct kind of activity should be put in each iteration, each time box. Okay. And also each time box should have the same time to complete, Otherwise, it will violate the benefits of this time boxing model. So we have completed four of the items. Okay. Now we go for some comparison. Okay. This is the way concurrency. Okay. Now, comparison of various software models. So I don't think we can complete this in this hour. Okay. Maybe we will go for this discussion in the next class. Okay. See you in the next class.